everyone, Coach Rachel here, and welcome back to another workout as part of our Coach Care Connect series. Today, we are going to do a body weight and band workout. So you're going to need some space. You're going to need a band, whether it's a loop like this one or it has handles. You might even be able to find, I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, but a lot of houses just have like some kind of physical therapy, rehab band, tie a knot in that. We can make it work when we are going to do a circuit 3 times through, 30 seconds work, 15 seconds rest, and then we were going to end with some armed. So first thing we have to do is warm up. So like I said, fill up your water bottle, get your space going, put your music on, and let's get started. I want to make sure before we go into some of these pulling motions that we have our upper back, our T-spine area warm and mobile. So we're going to start down on the turf, on the ground. You are going to stack your knees and your hips, your hands on your shoulder, and we are going to start with the T-spine rotation. So I'm going to show you from the front and the side. So I'm going here. I'm anchored. I'm going to put my fingertips behind my ear, and I'm going to rotate down and across and try to touch my elbow to my other elbow, and then I'm going to open and rotate as far as I can. Down and across, open. And this should feel so good when we're usually slumped over a device for most of the day. This is gonna open up that back area and get it primed for exercise. Okay, other side, maybe just a little bit of a different view here, coming down, across, open up. About 5 each side. Nice. All right. Now, since we're down here, besides our back, in particular our upper back, our hips are also in a position where they tend to get tight and sore if we're sitting all day. So we're going to stay right where we are. Step a knee forward, so you're in a half kneel position. And what I want you to do, you see I'm just kind of like hanging out, push this hip forward. And even right there, automatically, I'm feeling a stretch here right where I should. I'm going to keep my hips square, and I'm going to do, it's a little motion, just a slight rock forward and back. Sorry, I do want this toe on the ground. I had it chilling there, but give me a little ankle flexion. Little push forward and back. If you want to add even more to this, what you can do is if your left knee is down, reach up with your left hand and over just a little bit, not very far. Now I've got a whole stretch going on here. Well, I just do a little bit of oscillation forward and back. Okay, let's switch to the other side. Other leg out. We're propped up on our toe here, a little weight shift forward. Remember that this whole hip is brought forward into that stretch. And then if you want to add a little bit more, coming across and a little reach. You're probably going to feel it's super normal, common that you have one side might feel tighter than another. We get imbalances over time. Our body does everything it can to keep us moving. So sometimes we feel things differently on different sides. Okay, we got a little upper back, we got hips. Now we are going into some shoulder mobility. So we're going to come up to a stand. And what I want you to think about is being really active with this reach. So it's not just like arms are out and we're doing a thing. What I want you to do is about a hip width stance. Okay, we're going to push our hips back into a hinge and actively reach out like we're trying to reach out towards the walls, thumbs up in a Y shape. And you're going to bring your hands around. And as you come around, let your thumbs will kind of rotate back and around, and then hands behind your back. So let that natural rotation happen, but keep thinking actively reaching out as hard and as far as you can while you come around. If you have trouble maintaining this position, I want you to think about, we're not cranking on our lower backs here. I'm really loading my hamstrings and my glutes to support this hinge, this tip over. while I tip and reach. If you can't quite, if your body's just not hanging with you, just put a light touch on the wall and do the same thing. So now you have a little more support and you can still come around and back out. A little shoulder mobility. Let's do one more. Coming out, reach, back, around, and forward. Okay, we've got 2 to go. We're going into an overhead squat. This is actually harder than it looks, even though it's just body weight. So I'm going to give you some options. So arms up overhead, thumbs back about a Y shape, and you're going to sit down and back into a squat, okay? But what I'm looking for, as best you can as you go, I don't really want to see this tip over thing. So if your mobility won't let you go, what I want you to do is just put your hands where you can do that squatty thing. So you're going to come down and back up. I know for sure I squat better with my hands right here. Some people are out here, okay? And some people can do this great, beautiful, it's not bad. It's not bad for me. This beautiful overhead squat. So you got 10 of those. I'm going to let you finish up. And then we have one last little move just to get that heart rate up, right? We don't want to just mobilize. We also want to warm up, prime our muscles. So picture the letter Z on the ground. And you are going to do a zigzag hop, landing on each of the points of your letter. So, doesn't have to be very big. I don't want to lose my mic, so I'm going to let you keep going. Let's do 10 of these. I'm just going to shorten mine up, then maybe I won't lose it. Couple more. Keep going, and when you are done, I'm going to walk you through the movements really quick. So when we get that timer going, that 30 seconds with 15 seconds rest, that doesn't give you a lot of transition time. So I want you to be ready and know exactly what is coming up, okay? So our first exercise, whatever band you're choosing to use, is going to be a bent over row. Now I want to make sure, because this is a bent over row is an easy one to do at home, but please make sure, if you're like me, I don't have a great spot to anchor a band, but you can certainly tie this in a knot and close it in a door, or find some kind of, make sure no one comes in, or find some kind of secure handle, because it's so important with your training program to make sure you get some pulls that are coming from up high, or at the very least not bent over, but you're standing. So keep that in mind too. If you have the opportunity to work out at home, make sure you are getting your vertical pull in instead of the bent over, which is horizontal, okay? So I'm gonna go here, about a hip width stance. Remember that hinge we just practiced with the shoulder mobility? I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to row back and down. So here's what I don't want to see, this a hinge, and then see how I'm scrunched up here and I row? That's going to cause a lot of problems with your trap area and your neck. So I want down and back, and then pull down and back. So I'm really trying to get these big lat muscles. They're for surface area, they're one of the larger pieces of muscle you have on your body. And we want to make sure we keep those big and strong so you can stay upright as long as possible. Next, we're going down to the ground for our bridge. This can be, let's ditch the band on this one. I was going to mess around with it, but I want to make sure that we get form right first. So here's what I want it to be. Here are your 2 options. 1, a regular bridge, which I'm sure a lot of you have done before. You can certainly bridge here. If you did want to try with a band, if you have one of these, you can loop it around your shoes like this. I'm worried I'm going to get snapped because my shoes are really flat, so there's not a great surface area for it to grip. But this is such a great way to do a resisted bridge, because now when I come up, I have some resistance to push out against. And I want you to think it's one motion. So as you come up, you're also coming out just a little bit, enough where you can squeeze your booty, okay? So if you can safely get your band secured to your feet, give that a try. Or same motion without the band, or third option, I love this one, you're gonna give yourself a little resistance on your non-working leg. So here's what it looks like. Plant your left foot, that's gonna be the worker. My right leg is going to be up, bent at 90 degrees, and my foot is flexed too. So I got 90 here and 90 at my foot. Then I'm going to actively push down and against this leg, and my leg's going to actively push against me. Got my other hand here, and I'm gonna lift and come down. Because it's not just then this working leg, but I have everything firing and activated. Sometimes when we have clients go up here, it's kind of like swing your butt into the air. And that's not what we're going for. We want lots of tension in a controlled motion. From here, we're going on to our side for a side plank with rotation. Again, I'm going to give you options. So set up, super important. Hang on, am I losing? I'm good. Elbow under shoulder, okay? Option 1, lift your hips high and you can hold here. So this is a modified plank. My feet are out behind me, 90 degrees, okay? Or this top leg can go here, can hold here, and you can also add that rotation. That's gonna be our end goal, okay? Or let's look at this position. Top leg is crossed over, my hips are nice and high, and I'm gonna go here, reach under and across as far as I can, and open, okay? And we'll switch halfway. So it's gonna be a short side plank. And then our last two is gonna be a squat and an overhead press. So weight or no weight, you can body weight squat, or you can do a goblet squat style. So step here, I like to kind of just loop here, and now I'm gonna hold, actively hold here as I squat, okay? Actually, I'll probably have to choke down a little bit more. I need a little more resistance. There we go. And go into your squat, okay? Remember that overhead squat from warm-up that was so hard? If you were a master rock star at that movement, you can certainly take this band up overhead and now do your squat. Woo! Okay, you got options. You can put it here and squat. I'm gonna let you decide. All right, and last one is gonna be that overhead press. So we are gonna step on our bands. Actually, I'm gonna put it behind you so it stays out of your way. And we're going here. I'm sorry, create some, I don't know why I took a staggered stance. You certainly can, makes it harder. But go here and press up, overhead. Okay, probably, we'll get a couple reps on each side in 30 seconds. And then we're gonna loop through. We're gonna loop through, and then we have an arm finisher, some biceps and triceps when we are all said and done. So let me just get my timer started here. Sorry, it timed out on me, so it's gonna take me about 30 seconds to get us started. All right, 5 exercises. Remember, we're starting with that row, bridge, side plank, squat, and overhead press. Oh boy, my timer is being a little fussy. Okay, everybody ready? We're gonna have a 10-second countdown to that row. And I just wanna make sure I set my timer right. I always do it wrong. My clients always laugh at me. I'm like, what round are we on? Are we still going? Okay. Okay, ready? 10-second countdown. Give me 2 seconds. We're starting with that row, that bent over row. 3, 2, 1. All right, hinge, pull back and down and away from your ears. We're not up here, we're backing down, we're pulling low. If you wanted a little extra something, you could, instead of just keeping here, your shoulders down and back, you could do a full reach, pull all the way back, but it has to be under control. Ooh, rest. Sorry, I started chit-chatting. Everybody rest. Okay, we're gonna head down to the ground for our bridge, okay? Remember, weighted, if you're gonna do the band, come across, secured on your feet. Make sure it's secure so you don't get snapped, all right? Or body weight or single leg with resistance. That's what I'm gonna go to. 2, 1. All right, left side, I'll let you know at halfway when to switch. Remember, I'm actively pushing down on this side. Let's switch to make sure my core is staying level, right? I don't want my hips dropped. Keep it square. And we've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right. Stay on the ground because coming up we have side plank. Remember your options, you can stay, just hold. Okay, you can hold for 30. You can put a foot out. You can hold here, but our end goal is adding a little rotation and begin. Down and open. You could certainly too, sorry I didn't show you this option, you could go up on your hand. Sometimes it's harder, sometimes it's easier depending on who you are. Let's switch to the other side, which you can certainly just do a little flip-flop. I just didn't want to put my back to you. And coming up, we have squat. 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. Remember, body weight squat, or more of a goblet squat where you're holding the band in front, or I think I'm going to try it because I'm not very good at it, so it's a good practice, that overhead squat. Okay, taking a good stance and begin. Coming down and up. I guess I could probably do a front view on this one. Let's see what it looks like. There we go. Can you hear my knees cracking? It's all part of the experience, people. Okay, not too bad for me. All right, we got 5 seconds. 2, 1, rest. Okay, overhead press. I bet we'll get about 5 to 7 reps on one side and then the other. So we can stand behind. Oops, I did say step on it from behind and keep it out of your way. And begin. So I'm going up, coming down. Just need a little more resistance. Here's what you can do. If you need to make something harder or easier, instead of just completely changing the exercise, or if you don't have another tool, let's switch sides, you can speed up, you can slow down, you can add a hold or a pause, you can stand on one leg or a split stance. 2, 1, rest. Sorry, I get excited talking about progressions and regressions. Okay, we are going down round 2, bent over row. I should have warned you, there's no official rest until the very end, okay? So, bent over row, stepping, 2, 1. All right, we are hinged, pulling back and down. If you need a little more out of your band, joke down on it, give it a pull. Maybe I could just go a little bit wider. Ooh, I actually like that, because now I feel a little bit in my legs too. Added benefit of the bands. We have 5 seconds, and then we are going down to the ground for the bridge. And rest. Okay. Bridge, band, no band, single leg. If you got a couch or something nearby, want to make it even harder, throw your feet up on the bench. 2, 1. All right. I'm going here. Coming up and down. I'll let you know halfway. We got 5 seconds. And switch. Good. I'm so excited. We got new kettlebells back here. Purple, obviously. 2, 1, rest. Okay, stay down, stay on the ground. We have side plank. Hold, modified, forearm, hand, rotation. It's up to you. You get to decide. But either way, we are going in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're up. Rotate. Come up. And I'll let you know when we're halfway. I want to try to get one more in. Okay, switch. Other side. Boom. Did you see that transition? That was good. Nice. 5 seconds. And rest. Okay. Squat and overhead press coming up. Okay. Okay. What version do I want to do? I want a body weight squat, but I'm going to hang on to this just for a little something. Okay. And begin. Down, come back up. I want you to think about with your squat, your whole foot is drilled into the ground, your big toe especially, anchored into the ground. You're sitting back and down. Your chest is up. You have tension here. You have tension here. Imagine an anchor is pulling you down, and you have to fight against it on the way up. 2, 1, rest. All right, overhead press. Overhead press. Step on it from behind, keep it out of your way. Coming up to the side. Oops, we got a couple seconds, and begin. Good, this would probably be a better one with the handle band, but I've committed, so here we are. I'll let you know when we're halfway. 3, 2, 1, switching sides. I'm stepping behind, I'm coming up, and press. Good. And then we are going to be on to our final round already. Can you believe it? Maybe you can. Rest. Okay. 15 seconds and we're back to the top. Row, bridge, plank, squat, overhead press, and then we will be on to our arm finisher. We have 5 seconds. Let's get ready for that row. Still thinking about having a good form, and begin. So I'm going to hinge to the side. Pull back, down. Really activate our big lat muscles, staying out of the trap and neck area. We're halfway, and then we are done with the row for the rest of the day. 5 seconds. And done. All right. Down to the ground, we have a bridge, body weight, band, or single leg. Or put your feet on the couch. Add the band. What? That would be hard. Give it a try if you can. All right. And begin. Up, down. Sometimes you have to play just a little bit with this bottom foot placement. I know for me, because I've got some knee stuff going on, if I get out too far, I'm not really doing much. So I need to make sure I find that, switch sides, that sweet spot where I'm really using my glute, my booty as the prime worker, and my hamstrings. Rest. Okay, stay down. We have the side plank. Suppose I could, maybe I'll hang on to that band for the finisher. Okay, side plank. Remember your options. It's a pop quiz. What are your options? You can do modified on your knees and hold. You can do modified on your hand and hold. Rotation, no rotation. Switch sides. It's up to you. And for those of you working with a trainer and a coach in our clubs, the nice part is that they can help you decide what is the best option for you. And rest. Okay, squat, overhead press. And that is it, peeps. I'm going back. I'm going to challenge myself. Like I said, I'm not very good at this one. It's not my strongest position, so I really want to practice. All right, up overhead or a regular squat. Good. This will be our last squat of the day. So let's rep it out, make it count. Remember, depending on what you have access to, speed it up, slow it down, add a hold, right? Make it harder, easier. You can do that right at home. Rest. Okay. Overhead press. And then we just got little arms. All right, stepping from behind. Okay. I'm going up and around. Getting ready. 2, 1, press. Stand up tall. I have tension here in my core. I'm squeezing my glutes, the top of my leg, keeping everything tight as I press up overhead. Let's switch sides. Remember, breathing in, out. You don't necessarily have to mouth breathe. If you can keep it together and breathe through your nose, it can be more optimal for some people. Rest. That's it. Okay, hang on. Let me just turn my timer off because I don't want it beeping at me, stressing me out. And we have time for a quick finisher. So a little water. And we're going to do some curls. That's for your biceps. And some overhead extensions Let's see. I might trade it out because I think this band is too loose, but let's see. So curls and then stuff for the back of the arm, the triceps. Okay, this is going to be 3 sets of 10. It's nothing fancy. It's not timed. You're going to go at your own pace. I will too. So if I finish before you, that's okay. If I finish after you, I'll never know. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Depending on what kind of band you have, you're going to step on it because you want some tension. Okay. And if you're doing curls, you're going right here. All right. I want you to think shoulders back and down. Elbows are going to stay put, curling up, curling down. All right. If we want to try the overhead extension, here's what it looks like. I just think need just a little bit different band, so I might do some tricep push-ups, but you can step forward, use your band, and come up and go here, or even hinge just a little bit and come across. But I'm going to give you another option just because this is too loose, so I feel like I'm just flailing around up there. So what we can do is some tricep push-ups on your toes or your knees, but you're going to bring your hand positioning in more than you would for a regular push-up. Or sometimes I have my clients make almost a little bit of a triangle shape. So we're still going to recruit your chest, but we're going to load the triceps in a little bit different way. Usually they're the supporting muscle, and with these push-ups, they're pretty active. I wouldn't say the main, but pretty darn close. Toes or knees, but you're going to keep elbows tucked in and come back up. See, I just adjusted my hand placement. You might need to do that too. It's just a little bit further back than I normally would be for a regular push-up. So play around with the angles and stay, no matter what, stay tucked in close so it's more, really this, more like tricep over chest. Okay, so we've got 3 sets of 10. We're going to move through at your own pace. If you do have a band with handles, this would probably be a better choice for biceps. Maybe I'll trade it out. But no problem if you're still using the loop band. Okay, 3 sets of 10, and we're going to call it a day. You can also play with tempo here for curls, right? You can come up regular speed, down half the speed. You can maybe change the angle. Go out a little bit wider, okay? There are just lots of options to make this harder or easier, okay? Shoot, I think that was 10. I wasn't counting. All right, let's bust out these tricep push-ups, a little more narrow or almost a triangle shape on your toes or on your knees. I didn't talk. I didn't talk in that one. It's hard. It's hard to talk while you do push-ups. All right, round 2, curls. Here, I can face this way. I like to try to show different angles, the best angle for the exercise. So I wasn't trying to avoid saying hello. Just want to make sure that you can see the exercise above all else. And again, I'm chatting away, and I don't know what number we're on. Let's do one more. All right. Down for those tricep push-ups, toes or knees. Okay, if you're going knees, looking like this, coming down, coming up. I really think like if you've ever done dips or a similar motion, like the top of what a dip might feel like. So your body position is a little bit different than if you were doing a regular push-up, because we're really trying to load the back of the arms. All right. Ooh, I'm sweaty. Final round. Last 10 of each, and we will call it a day. While you're curling, I want you to think about recovery. So it's not just foam rolling or stretching. It can mean a lot of things. Good recovery means quality sleep, means getting enough protein, means having a strategy to manage your stress, even things like taking a walk, right? Taking a walk in the morning, getting together with a friend and just laughing. So I want you to keep thinking about how you recover and different ways that you can incorporate it.
Good, so we're on the knees, everyone, or on the toes, whatever works for you. The tricep push-ups, again, you just want to keep the hands nice and close, even if we're making that triangle with the hands there. Elbows in nice and tight to really get those triceps. Again, last rep here, and then we will get into our recovery for the day. Like Coach Rachel was saying, a recovery can mean a whole lot of different things in our daily life, but today it's going to mean some foam rolling. So knock out those last 10 push-ups and let's bring it down to the ground. Let's grab a foam roller, and from here, and from here, let's start with the glutes today. Now, how we're going to do that, we're going to start by sitting on the foam roller here. We're going to start with the piriformis, actually. So it's in the glute. One foot comes on top of the other here. If my right foot is on my left knee, my right glute is getting rolled out here. And that should really allow you to dig in a little bit, starting the recovery process early, right? Getting you ready for our next Coach Care Connect virtual workout. Boom. Good, when you're done with that, let's switch sides. Right over to the other side. Good. And then again, you want to get that whole piriformis in this one. So again, from the bottom of your glute all the way to like the top of your hamstring, down to almost in your low back is where you want to get on this one. Good, a couple more seconds. And then let's roll it on down to the quads, the hamstrings, right behind the quads actually. Now, I like to do this one both at a time, but we're going to get from the back of the knee all the way to the bottom of the glute on this one. So take some time, get those legs. There we go. Good, and let's move down to the calves here as well. Again, this one you want to roll the toes around a little bit, so have them pointed one way, have them pointed straight up, have them pointing the other way. That way you get the whole surface area of your calves, not just the middle of the back of your calves. You get some of the sides, inside and outside there. Good. So, last one that we're going to do, if you want to hit any other foam rolling stretches, you can absolutely do that, but something to keep your wrists and your forearms healthy here. We're going to turn those wrists around, and then we're just going to sit here. If you want to go a little bit farther back, you can kind of lean back to feel the stretch right in the front of your wrists. Again, you don't want to feel any pain on this one, but you want to feel the stretch a little bit. You lean back a little, find that spot that works for you. Good. Even rock back just a little. And then when you guys are done, that is going to be what I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for coming on in, working out with me today, and Rachel. But that's what we got for you. We will see you again. Coach Rachel thanks you. I thank you. My name is Coach Christian, and we will see you next time.